YouTube. What it do, man. Go on over there, man. Hit me with a thumbs up and a like, man. You know what I'm saying? Bless your boy, man. Hey, look, the homie was asking me. It was like was neighborhood Paru hood blood friendly, blood friendly to other homies, like through my era coming up and shit like that. Dog, yeah, hell yeah. Like when I first started being from the turf, homie, you had all kind of bloods from everywhere inside of NHP hood, homie. You had Swans over there. You had Anthem Parks over there. You had Bloodstone villains over there. You know what I'm saying? That was that. That played an influential part on our homies and shit. The Bloodstone villains in 88, 89 and things like that. You had Blackstone Jungles. You had 20 Bloods. You had Peblos that came through there. Inglewood families stayed over there. Crenshaw Mafias, Center Parks, Avenue Pop Rule. Nigga, you had bloods from everywhere that circulated and came through and fucked with our hood. And far as we our hood was popping at that time. It was a money generator, and it was just a safe spot for bloods to be, homie. And it was other hoods that was like that. I know the Jungles at that time, they turf was popping. Bloods from everywhere was able to come through the Jungles at one point, homie. And get a spot. Know they can kind of be safe. Know they can kind of grind, reside, and do their thing. Them was two like cool, safe turfs, homie, between the neighborhood Power Rules and the Blackstones, homie. Because it was times that we reside, neighborhood Power Rules. We lived in Blackstone Jungle Hood and shit. I had my homeboy Q-Ball and them and Lil Inch and them, homie, and they was heavily tied in with the 20 Bloods, with the Biddy Stone Bloods, Jungle Bloods, and with the Jungle Bloods, homie. My homie Q-Ball, you know what I'm saying? R.I.P. B.I.P. You know what I'm saying? He had a heavy tie with them dudes, homie, and along with other homies and shit. And that's how that shit was really blood love, homie. Six Deuce Brims, the OG homeboy Darky, I can remember, used to be in our hood from Six Deuce Brim. You know what I'm saying? And like I say, it was cheese over there, it was money over there. The homies, we wasn't set tripping. Set tripping really wasn't in effect like that, homie. So it was just like, shit, if we all in each other hoods, we making each other hoods look good, homie. You know what I'm saying? That's how we looked at it, homie. And if you was a soldier and you moved in a different B-Dog hood and the homies had seen you and you let the homies know, blood, I'm over here, blood, this is where I stay at, I got my family, or I'm doing this or doing that. And that's what a build a personal alliance up. If you met a couple homies or jailed with some homies that a hood that you didn't moved into, you would find them homies and be like, blood, I live in your hood now, or this, and that, homie. And if you was hustling and solid and just was a real homie, you would patronize the hood you was in. Like if I was hustling and I moved I'm just gonna say, for instance, I'm from neighborhood Power Rule, I'm hustling, I'm a solid blood, and I moved to the Swans, homie, back in the days, homie. You know what I'm saying? 89, 90, 91, 92, 93, 94, 95, 96, 97. We taking it from there. So I'm from neighborhood Power Rule, homie. I moved to the Swans, homie. So I might know some homies from Swan, like I stay over there. Or I might be selling weed in my hood, But I live in the homies hood, and the homies might, they can tell by your character, your style, like this nigga's hustling. So niggas that say, well, hey, homie, I got deals over here, dog. I know you do your thing, but the homies got this over here, homie. The homies got this over here. So we are patronized like a nigga have his own thing going on, but a nigga still patronize another homie just out of respect and love that I'm resigning in your hood. I'm doing my thing, homie. I want to have an outlet with the homies. So that'll get a nigga recognition, homie. And other things that, that solidified us and gave each other recognition with each other and live in each other hoods. If just say I'm from neighborhood Paru, but I stay in the Compton Paru hood. So therefore, homie, if I'm near and I'm active back in them days and I hear about the homies from Compton Paru shit going on and I live in a hood, if you was kind of like an older homie or YG was a different position, you was like YG back in the days, you might jump out there with the homies. From Compton, probably like, nigga, shit, nigga, I'm down to get down with whoever y'all getting down with, whoever y'all beefing. So homies will be like, damn, who is Blood? Oh, that's the homie from Inglewood and HP. Like, Blood function with the homie. Yeah, Blood solid, do everything the homies do. And so that's how we was building up personal rapports, homie. Or you might get a G homie that moved to the turf like, hey, homie, I ain't functioning like that, but I can donate something to y'all, homie. Blood, I hear y'all over here scrimmaging. I can hear the gunfire at night. Blood, I can get this to y'all, homie. So no matter what, it was still blood love, homie. And like I said, it wasn't no major set tripping. Homies might have got drunk off some bottles back then, chunked them and shit like that. But the gunfire didn't start yet. You know what I'm saying? And it haven't kicked off yet, homie. So it was just a lot of love and the set trippings that did evolve. It was just niggas hoods would meet up thick. Whoever, get down, niggas will walk off and hit a corner and get down. So it wasn't no social media, it wasn't none of that shit. So two niggas would go get down and then come back while the other two hoods is there drinking, we associating, homies that been in prison with each other maybe talking, while a nigga from my hood or another hood is going to settle their differences and shit. And that's what kept us set tripping from escalating to high points back then. You had a lot of OGs still in the field and YG niggas that was in the field and baby gangsters that was down in the field. So it was buffers in between that shit. You know what I'm saying? But that's blood love was a motherfucker back then, homie. And the picnics, the functions, you know what I'm saying? I know the Swans used to stay cracking with shit. You know what I'm saying? Swan Hood was a good hood to go to, homie. They had good, cool looking homegirls. They knew how to party, turn up, dance, function, riding and shit. And the Villains was like that when I was coming up. You go over there, you can function, kick it and everything, homie. And I remember when I was a little bit younger, this was like in the 90s too, maybe 94, 5, maybe 92, 93-ish. The Peblos had something. That's when I first went over there with the homies. They had an arcade in their hood and shit, the Peblos. And I remember I went to the Peblo function, and we was in there deep. And I remember, I don't know what the fuck happened, but I remember the Peblos came out with a gang of automatic weapons. They didn't draw down on no homies or nothing, but they just had them. I don't know if some ops was coming through their hood at that time. But I know the homies from Peblos had got automatic up and was ready. And I was over there in their hood. This is my first time going. My homies had been going. And I'm like looking like, nigga, these niggas over here active and cracking, homie. You know what I'm saying? And that's when I was, start venturing out, looking at how other homies function and shit. You know what I'm saying? With this blood thing. And that's how a nigga kind of started adopting this style too. Because we was really getting around looking at niggas' characters and stuff. Like, it ain't like now, no disrespect. A nigga be dressed way out of costume and uniform of this blood thing. So you can't really take a nigga so serious nowadays. Back then, you would take a nigga in some Pendleton chucks and khakis, serious than a motherfucker with a Jerry curl, some perm, Shirley Temple curls hanging, motherfucking Platts crazy, you gonna really take heed of what a homie like that telling you, homie. You know what I'm saying? So the nigga was able to like get a gang of this gangster shit from different blood hoods, homie. I was, homie. Cause I seen niggas that was soldiered out. So I was one of them young niggas. I would see a nigga and then go introduce myself to a homie from an East Side blood or a Compton Piru hood blood or LA blood hood. You know what I'm saying? And that's just, lightweight kicking it up. And I want to kind of like go into this again, homie, so I might do it again. But yeah, Bloods was like, it was the thing to do, homie. You feel me?